Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is the 9th game in the Call of Duty franchise of video games, a sequel to the 2010 game Call of Duty Black Ops, and the first Call of Duty game for the Wii U. A corresponding game for the PlayStation Vita, Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified, was developed by Instigate Games and also released on November 13th. Developed by Treyarch and published by Activision, was released for the Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 on November 12th, 2012, and for the Wii U on November 18th in North America and November 30th in PAL regions. The game was a commercial success. Within 24 hours of going on sale, the game grossed over $500 million. It had remained the largest entertainment launch of all time until September 2013, when Take-Two Interactive announced that Grand Theft Auto V had grossed $800 million in its first day of release. It went on to sell 7.5 million copies in the US in November of 2012, making it the highest grossing game of the month. Now, a sequel, Call of Duty Black Ops 3, was released in 2015, which I'm going to do a review for as well, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, set between Black Ops and Black Ops 2, was released on November 13th of 2020. This installment of Call of Duty shies away from the traditional linear campaign where you skip, hop, and jump from country to country, set piece to set piece. This story is a continuation of the Call of Duty Black Ops campaign story and is set both in the past and in the present, with the player Frank Woods, who apparently died during the Black Ops story arc, having survived his run-in with one of the three main enemies and ended up in the notorious Hanoi Hilton.
Welcome to the Hanoi Hilton. 6 months later, they shipped me over to Da Nang. And this fucking place made the Hilton look good. Lost 17 of my group. By 72, it was just me. I was not gonna die in a fucking swamp!
A fact which was apparently hidden on the main terminal on the main access screen of the original Black Ops game, in which if you input certain commands you find out that Woods is still alive. This campaign wraps up the story of the original Black Ops and explains what happened to Alex Mason, the protagonist of the first game. Now, the game is played both in past and present day. Frank Woods retells what happened to him, and you then go back in time and play as Alex Mason and other characters. Then you play in the present day as David Mason as you try to understand more about why what happened to your father Alex Mason happened and why they are all being hunted by the antagonist Raul Menendez. During this game, you play as Frank Woods, Alex Mason, and David Mason, son of Alex Mason, who are on a mission to hunt down a cartel leader known as Raul Menendez, whose daughter was killed accidentally by Woods during a botched CIA op to capture him. What Menendez does in order to reap his revenge is very strikingly similar to what happens in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, with only several minor changes. Now, this game had quite a bit of controversy hit it when it first came out due to the fact that this game featured Manuel Noriega.
Pineapple Face himself, Manuel Noriega.
Now, for those of you who don't know, Manuel Noriega was the leader of Panama from 1983 to 1989, and he had various ties to the US intelligence community, which was used during this storyline. He was arrested and indicted by the US during the invasion of Panama for crimes ranging from murder and money laundering to drug smuggling, and in July of 2014, he actually filed a lawsuit against the game company Activision for depicting him and using his name without his permission. Noriega, who filed the suit while in prison for murder, claimed he was portrayed as a kidnapper, murderer, and enemy of the state. End quote. On October 28th of 2014, the case against Activision was dismissed by a judge in California. Now, the campaign also has several features which make it truly stand out and different from its predecessors. You have access to perks that one of them gives you access to areas that you shouldn't otherwise be able to. During every single mission, providing that you have the required perk equipped, at certain points there'll be an option that comes up that says access. Now, what this does is, depending on the mission, it will help make the mission easier and turn the tide of the battle in your favor. One example is when you're in this island hotel, the enemy have taken over from the normal guards, infiltrating their ranks, and while you're in the server room, you're able to, and are given the option to, hack in with the help of your partner and make every single enemy outlined in red so you can tell the difference between friend and foe.
Read, I need to be able to ID the enemy. Live link to PMCs listed in the personnel files with their biometric IDs. Upload the data to my HUD.
You got it.
Another example is turning the robots who are in control of the enemy friendly so that they don't shoot you and instead fire on the enemy, or taking control of the automated minigun turrets and turning them on the enemy. There are also two endings in this game, the good ending or the bad ending, which was a first for Call of Duty. Now, to get the good ending, you have to do a set of tasks correctly in certain missions. This is not something you'll know about during your first playthrough, and was something I only found out about after I'd actually finished the campaign for the first time. So during the campaign, you'll be given options or have to complete tasks a certain way, and if you fail, it will lead to you getting the bad ending. The real ending is a jaw-drop moment and one I won't spoil, but to get it depends on the choices that you make. It also ties up the storyline of both Black Ops and Black Ops 2. One of the other things I thought that was really cool about this game as well is at the end of every mission there will be a drop down bar which will say either you failed the mission or you completed the mission and it was successful, and it will also say something like you completed your mission, you were able to repel the enemy attack and now this country has sided with you, or you failed your mission and now you will be in dire straits, or something like that. So it will either tell you at the end of the mission you either failed or you succeeded. There are also side missions called Strike Force, which range from defending key points from the enemy to defending a convoy with multiple vehicles and also getting to a high value target. One big problem with this is it is timed in some missions, and also the difficulty I feel was ratcheted up for these side missions because they throw as many enemies as they can at you, specifically the last mission in which you have to take out a high value target. They also play a significant role in how the story plays out as well, something again which isn't immediately revealed or shown to the player. One of the cool things added in Black Ops 2 is the ability to pick your loadout and change it to what you want. However, I must add that not all guns or added accessories will be available to you straight away, but will become unlocked as you progress through the story. This is something that has been featured in later titles of this franchise, such as Call of Duty Black Ops 3, for example, and one in which I like as it gives you, the player, the choice of how you want to play the game, and also gives you a choice of what you want to use. So if you have a favorite gun, like the M27 is one of my favorite guns, you could play the entire campaign with just that weapon if you wanted to. Black Ops 2 has some amazing set pieces, and the destruction is on par with Battlefield 3's depiction of destruction. For example, at one point you're flying a fighter jet and an entire crane falls down into another building, smashing into the side of it, and at another point an entire building is blown to pieces and comes crashing down, and a parking lot implodes when you fire on it. To me, when I first played through this, I was stunned at how amazing the particle effects and the destruction looked. This installment of Call of Duty did many things right and changed Call of Duty in many ways. Instead of being another generic shooter, it went out, it took risks, and some paid off. The story is fun and engaging and leaves you guessing right till the very end. The ending is also very well done, an amazing surprise if you manage to do everything the right way. I would recommend you check it out if you haven't already. If you enjoyed this video game review, please like, comment, and subscribe to see more video reviews just like this.